Because when Jesus says that, we're going to know him, we're going to see him, he's going to be with us always, how does he come? He comes to the poverty, the simplicity of the sacraments, bread and wine, like, whoa, holding him in my hand as a priest? Man, he's there, you're there, waiting. Brothers and sisters, may the Lord give you his peace. Father Malachy coming to you from the mountains of Nicaragua. Good news is that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What the heck does that mean? I think I've heard it, I don't know how many thousands of times, but what does it mean? And what does it mean to say later in that same gospel that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us? When we're talking about meeting Jesus, that's who we're talking about. This profound mystery, right? The Word of God made flesh, dwelling within creation as one of us, our human nature, right? And it's always like just this paradoxical, like confounding reality, mystery, I don't even know how to say it, when you see exactly how God brings this about. In the Middle Ages, the scriptures, the Word of God written, right? They'd have these beautiful manuscripts where they would use all kinds of gold lettering and beautiful writing to try and give dignity and beauty even, and tell some of the story of the Word of God, right? This desire in our humanity to say, hey, if something's important, I want to show that outwardly, right? But brothers and sisters, when you know something's important, you do your best. You give everything that you could potentially give to make it as beautiful, as wonderful, as memorable an event as possible. You got the best food, best wine in a wedding. You got the best clothing. All the ladies are dressed up in their beautiful dresses. The guys, their little tuxes, right? We have this in our humanity that we understand that when something is important, we show it outwardly. And God, like who could be more important than that, right? Like God, when he chooses to come among us, we read in the Gospel of Luke, he is born in a manger, wrapped in swaddling clothes, in this completely unknown place on planet Earth at that time, except for probably the people that lived there. Bethlehem. City of David, yes. But like outside of Judaism, like unimportant. Not the best that you could have offered. Jerusalem, definitely that. Now we're talking. Even better yet at that time, Rome. But no, like he's born in Bethlehem. And when you get to Bethlehem and you're looking like, okay, we're going to have somewhere for God to be born among us. Let's go ahead and find the best of the best, the cream of the crop. We're going to look for the best hotel, make our reservations. We've been waiting for 1,000 years. Don't you think you could have come up with a little reservation, God, for your son? But no. Born in a manger, right? And so I'm like, okay, like let's meet Jesus, like let's meet this God made flesh. Let's come to know the reality. And this is how he comes. He comes poor. He comes desperately in need. Everybody who's ever held an infant knows how desperately vulnerable and in need they are of someone else, a mother to care for them, give them life, father to protect, provide for that space where the mother can give that life. Comes as an infant. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word is with God, and the Word was God. But that Word becomes flesh. That Word becomes poor, small, vulnerable, little enough to hold, right? Everybody loves it at Christmas, and we're all like looking at this beautiful manger scene, which, by the way, just got to give my props. If you don't know, St. Francis, he's the reason why you've got these manger scenes. Won't go into that side story. But brothers and sisters, what does this mean that the Word became flesh? And I wonder, and I ask this for myself, has God been showing up in my life, but I somehow seem to be passing right by him? Like, because when Jesus says that, we're going to know him, we're going to see him, he's going to be with us always, how does he come? He comes to the poverty, the simplicity of the sacraments, bread and wine, like, whoa, holding him in my hand as a priest? Man, he's there, you're there. Waiting. In the poor, maybe the person that annoys me or I don't get along with at work or my family, in my struggles, in my suffering, He's there. He's there. The Word becomes flesh again and again throughout all of history. From that first moment where in the womb of the Virgin, He became one of us. He enters in and just like radiates out like this presence, this power, this love. And as I've said before, if you know the love of Christ, you're going to be filled with the fullness of God. And that fullness, brothers and sisters, is what we're made for. It's what we're longing for. So I just invite you today to open your eyes to the little things, to the poor things, to the places where you wouldn't expect to meet Jesus. Because, brothers and sisters, it's right there where He chose to come into the world, and it's right there where He wants to come into your life.